Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I'm Amma Mama, and today I'm just doing a quick update on what I've read so far in June. I have not finished a whole lot. I've finished basically 2 books at this point, so I'll talk about these a little bit. I am in the middle of like several books though, because I have 2 books on my Kindle that I am reading. One of them I'm listening to the audio version, and then I have another one that I'm reading, and then I also have a couple other that I'm working on, so I'll talk a little bit about that. But because of that, I haven't finished a whole lot of books at this point in the month. So I'm hoping that next week I have finished maybe a couple more, but we'll kind of see. The first one that I'm going to talk about is Elevation by Stephen King. And this is just, it's a short little story. It's only like 150 pages maybe, but it's really, it was actually a really, I don't know, I want to say it was a cute little book, but it was just like a fun little read. Basically there is a gentleman, Scott, who goes to see a doctor friend of his, because he doesn't want to go see his actual doctor because he doesn't want to be, I don't know, not experimented on, but he doesn't want to be like taken in and become kind of like a test subject to find out what's wrong with him. But basically he is losing weight, and it doesn't matter whether he's got clothes on, no clothes on, how much the clothes weigh, anything like that. He's just losing weight, like a couple of pounds a day. And so when he goes to see his doctor friend for the first time, and I'm not spoiling, really a lot of this is just kind of on the cover, but when he goes to see his doctor friend, he does something to show him, the difference with the clothes and not the clothes, and all of this stuff. And so a good part of the story is, for me, like, I was like, wow, why is he losing weight? And then something else happens and I'm like, oh, now I see what's going on. And there is a couple that have moved into the town who opened a restaurant, and there's a lot of hatred going on because it's a lesbian couple, and so there's a lot of hatred going on in the town and not accepting this married couple because it's a same-sex marriage. And because of some things that happen, there's some reconciliation that happens there. And they have a Thanksgiving 12K run. And so Scott, who is the person who's losing the weight, he is going to join in this run because he thinks he has a good chance of winning. But it's through that race that he starts really understanding the prejudices against these women, as he has decided to enter the race and stuff. So he starts seeing things a little bit more clearly and from a different stance than what he had originally seen it. And so while a lot of the book does deal like with his weight, there's like these other issues that come out and that are dealt with that add to both the story, the title, just like all the stuff. So this was a really good book. Again, it's really short. I mean, I read this in like less than 2 hours, maybe. Definitely a quick read. But it was really good. So I would definitely give this like a 4-star, and I would recommend it. So again, Elevation by Stephen King. And then the other book that I've finished at this point is Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree. And I absolutely loved this book. I gave it 5 stars. This book it was written after Legends and Lattes, but it is happening prior to Legends and Lattes. And so when I had first picked it up and seen stuff about it, I thought that it was like a direct prequel to that book, as far as like what Viv, who is the orc, she's the main character, I thought it was going to be about like what she had been doing directly before Legends and Lattes, like what was going on in that book. And so I thought it was going to show us like how and why she ended up in the town she did, why she was going to open a coffee shop, all of that. And that wasn't exactly it. But she has gotten injured. She's still a young orc. She is working with a group of people, and they are trying to hunt down a necromancer, basically. And she gets injured really badly. And so they send her to this town. They send her back to this town that they had passed through to recuperate, paid her expenses for a while and everything. But while she's healing, she ends up meeting some people that she starts making friends with. And there's a bookstore that she starts helping the Radakin, and off the top of my head, I forgot all of the names pretty much, but the other character on the front of the book owns the bookstore. And so Viv is kind of helping her revive her bookstore. And there is another character that she meets who runs a bakery, and she kind of has like a summer fling with this character. But it was really sweet. It was a really good book, but it's more like something that happened further in her past, like when she was first starting out and doing, bounty hunting kind of work and stuff. And so you kind of see how she was younger and how she grew during this time that she was injured. And then the end of the book has this, I loved the epilogue that was at the end of the book, where you're now like in the future from Legends and Lattes. And I'm not going to say really anything about that because it would spoil it, but I loved the epilogue, like the whole story. Like I feel like he did such a great job of tying the books together. And in the I think it was in the intro part that I was reading by the author, like he had not really even intended to write this book. Like his second book that he was going to write was something completely different, but it just wasn't working basically. And the idea for this came to him, and so he started writing it, and it flowed, and so he ended up writing this book instead. But I loved this book a lot. I gave it a 5 stars. It was, again, just a very like light-hearted kind of, cozy kind of fantasy. It was, just unstressful to read, but I loved the characters. I loved the way that they developed personally and also individually as they were working together. And even like the law enforcement person that Viv kind of has like a reckoning with at the beginning of the book. Like there's a lot of stuff. And so it was definitely a really fun read. So I would highly recommend this. I am reading right now. So the books that I'm in the middle of reading, I am listening to Holly Banks' Full of Angst through Audible, because I had the Kindle version, but I've been listening to it when I have time. And then I've started reading Emotional Rescue, which is a collection of essays about love and loss and friendship and things like that. And he uses music to tie in the themes. And so each chapter has a different theme to it. And I'm kind of surprised because so far I'm actually really enjoying the book of essays. I didn't think I would, but it's really good so far. I am also still working on the complete, or no, it's not the complete, sorry. It's the collection of Kipling poems and stories. I've finished the Jungle Book now, and I'm now into, I think it's called Just So Stories. And those are, they look to be like they're little stories that are kind of telling why things are the way they are using animals. And so kind of like moral lessons. They're making me think a little bit of like Aesop's fables, like that kind of thing, where he's using these analogies to share information or to explain things for people. So anyways, I'm enjoying that. So I don't even know how much is left in the book. I'm probably about halfway through Kipling stories. And then I've also started reading the complete short stories of Mark Twain. And those also are surprising me. I wasn't sure that I was going to like them. Again, I have read some Twain like in school, but the short stories are different than what I thought they were going to be. And some of them are like interesting, but most of them have been really funny. And so it's really good. So I've been enjoying that. So I'm reading those. And then what else? Oh, and then I'm also reading Chain Gang All Stars. And so far that one's really good. There's definitely some blood and stuff in it, but again, I'm not super far into that book yet, so I'll see what I am able to finish this next week. But again, so I had those 2 books, but I'm right in the middle of like 4 different books right now, so we'll see what I hopefully am able to finish this week. But the short stories I'm trying to take a little slow. Same thing with the essays. I'm trying to not really rush through them, and because I'm actually enjoying them as well, I'm not feeling like I need to, I don't know, I'm just not feeling like I need to kind of either pace myself so that I don't get burnt out or whatever. Like everything I'm reading right now, I'm actually enjoying. So that is it for this week. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time. Bye.